you wouldn't have suffered enough.
I've been suffering all my life.
I'm sorry. It's not enough.
The amount of suffering that you understand, the amount of pain that you've gone through makes you appreciate the happiness and the beautiful moments with much more intensity.
You know what it's like to be poor, and you know what it's like to work hard. And you will want so much for them to like you, and they just won't. And it'll break your heart. And that'll make your heart bigger and open your eyes, and finally you will realize that there's more to life than proving you're the smartest person in the world.
This whole thing about suffering, yeah, it sucks. Really bad. Really, really bad. But we all live on this side of suffering. On this side. This nice box that's very comfortable, that we know when everything's gonna happen. We're in it, it's good. We know how everything's gonna turn out. It's those few people who are willing to go on this side of suffering. And once they get through that, ask him how he feels now. His mind, how far he grew. In that short period of time, he grew so much more than a normal person because he was willing to go outside himself. Because on the other end of suffering is greatness.
We're built to walk uphill. And when you reach the pinnacle of the hill, you want to stop and appreciate the vision, but the next thing you want is a higher hill in the distance, because it's the uphill climb that it's from the uphill climb that we derive our value. And I mean this technically. So almost all the positive emotion we feel, that's experienced in relationship to a goal. And so in some sense, you want a goal that you can never attain, right? So you can always move closer to the goal that recedes as you move towards it. You think, well, that's frustrating. It's like Sisyphus pushing the rock uphill. But it's not, because as you pursue that goal, you put yourself together and your life does get better and richer and more abundant. You want them to be above everything you're doing so you can continually move towards something that's more sublime and better. That's what you are. You're here to live, not to sleep.
Because you wouldn't have prayed like you pray had you not been hurt. You wouldn't love like you love had you not been hurt, because you know what it's like to hate somebody. So you refuse to go down that path.
Feelings has nothing to do with it. This is my dream. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do the things that I don't feel like doing. I'm going to do the things I don't want to do. I'm going to do the things that don't come easy to me, that do not come natural to me. I'm going to get up and do it. You can't live your life on feelings. You cannot let your feelings dictate what you are or are not going to do today.
You don't get that fire inside to make it happen out there until you go to the fire in here.
Leaving it all here, expecting it all out there. That's how it works. When you leave it all here, guys, you then have the right to expect it all out there. It doesn't work the other way around. You can't half-ass it here and expect anything but a half-ass life out there.
You know, it doesn't get easy, my friend. Running 12 plus miles a day, doing 800 plus push-ups a day, lifting weights every single day, working 2 jobs, working out of my comfort zone at the club. But it's worth it. Because if you think it's about fitness, you're wrong. If you think it's about the money, you're wrong. Because it all goes back to one important point, my friend. I'm in it for the mentality to keep going, no matter what happens.
Nothing should be easy. If it's easy, it's not going to be worth doing. So many people love to have the opportunity to find the easy way out and celebrate something that they never really worked hard to get. It gives you an opportunity to appreciate the challenges more, the letdowns, the failures. It gives you more ammunition, so when you do eventually get to where you want to be, just in case that moment comes and you get knocked back down, you understand what it feels like, and you know you're not going to stay down for very long because you know what that ground feels like.
This life is relentless. You better keep coming back from all your failures, all your doubts, all your shit. You better keep fighting, keep getting up. Never lay down for shit. That's one thing we should all agree on. If you've been broken once, you know how that feels. That means try and break me again. One thing in life, suffering has no expiration date. It don't give a if you're black, white, poor, rich, where you come from, how you were raised. It will keep coming after you. Stay hard.
It hurts when we're lifting these weights and we're trying to accomplish a goal. It hurts. It's painful. It's daunting. It's cumbersome. I don't want to do it. I'm sweating. I'm bleeding. I'm crying. I'm suffering. But after I've suffered, there is a reward. So we spend too much time thinking about how bad it hurts instead of how good the future will be after the pain. And so after the blood, after the sweat, after the tears, after I've cried all I'm gonna cry, I want to use the pain to my advantage.
At what age should you have everything together? For us normal people, it takes time. Because not only do you have to mature and grow, there's things in life that if you have a big enough dream, you're not the person you need to be right now to fulfill that dream. Now you keep moving towards it, you keep doing what needs to be done, but at the same time you realize that you yourself are gaining in knowledge and in experience and in personal growth.
Do you still struggle with all of the shit you talk about?
Oh my God.
Like
yes. That's why I'm so fucking relatable. I do not have this stuff figured out. I am shoulder to shoulder with everybody.
They look and see, and then are quick to adjudge your ability. But they weren't there. They weren't there through the struggle. They weren't there through the sleepless nights. They weren't there through the pain. They weren't there through the trauma. They weren't there through the tears. They weren't there to pick you up. You did that. So what gives them the right? What gives them the right to judge you? They don't know your ability, my friend. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know what you can do. So you find a way to push through. You find a way to keep going because nobody can tell you anything when you're the one who dragged yourself out the dark. When you're the one who dragged yourself back into the light, my friend. They have no business in your business. So you keep going.
We all gonna go through it. We all have to go through it, including myself. I'm gonna tell you something. When you are doing everything in your power to be the best makeup of yourself, it's always gonna be an adversary that's gonna try to take that away from you. Now, the best way you can overcome this is having the faith. Now, it doesn't matter what you believe in as long as it's something that's positive that's gonna get you through it.
Imagine if you could use pain as a fuel. Imagine if you could use the pain as a passport. Imagine if you could use the pain to push you, to condition you, to prepare you for the stages and the rooms you gotta walk into and the tables you gotta sit at and the stages you have to stand on. What if the pain could make you better? What if the pain could build muscle? What if the pain could cause you to reach higher, to leap farther, to run faster? What if the pain could help you? What if all pain isn't hurt, but it's help?
I'm sick right now, my friends. That can't stop the grind. In a world where everybody is so comfortable and lazy, why don't you be the one to get uncomfortable? Why don't you be the one to take on the challenge? Why don't you be the one to never give up? Why don't you be the one to never stop? Why don't you be the one to never give